From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Hey guys, welcome into the second edition of Beerside Chats. We're here at the Ministry of Brewing down in Baltimore, joined by Chris and Bobby and Brandon as always. It's great to be here. Chris, thanks for having us here.
Awesome, yeah, thanks for coming by.
This is a dope place.
This is awesome, man. We have loved it so far, and I haven't even tasted any beer yet. So.
Well, trust me, it gets better.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm turning 30. I need to, drown out the sorrow.
There you go.
You know?
Hopefully these will help.
So why don't you start off by telling us, first tell us a little about each beer, and then
do you want to do history first?
Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us about one of the beers while we're drinking, and then we told us about the history of the place.
Smart. Yeah, you want to get to the drinking first.
Yeah. Right. Fair.
Yeah. So what you got in your hand right now
I'm
is
not smart,
actually so that's the slow motion.
Okay.
And then you have the point. So the slow motion is our New England style IPA. It's relatively one of our newest additions. We're really happy with it. We also chose not to use any lactose in it, so everything you do get is just no lactose.
Okay.
A big thing. I'm personally on lactose intolerant, so I'm a fan of that.
You're like, I need to be able to drink all of these beers to, quality control.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's nice. It's more towards the simple side, which we really like. Just kind of highlights the style, highlights the hops that are in it as well, which is really cool. And just super smooth.
And this point's pretty good.
Yes, the point is, if there was a flagship of our flagship beers, it would be the point. It was the first beer we released. It was the first beer we brewed. Just a super light Czech Pilsner. Almost all size hops.
Do you want to try the slow motion? It's actually not super hoppy. You might actually enjoy that.
That's actually pretty good. I'm not a big
really good
IPA guy, and it's not super hoppy, and that's good.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make most of our beers just very approachable.
Yeah.
Instead of we will experiment farther down the road, but we wanted to just kind of open our doors, with open arms across the board, including all of our beers.
Right. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Different. Yeah.
That jackass that's like, I need it to be all hops.
Yeah. We didn't want. There are many breweries that do it very well, but we didn't want to necessarily open with 7 New England style IPAs and 8 adjunct stouts that are 13%. Obviously, we want people to hang out and stay for a while, and we are definitely a place that you want to come and visit and walk around and just enjoy the space that we've kind of created.
So, obviously, you guys would have seen the B-roll if I was able to do that. We're in a church. Tell us a little bit about the location, how much work you guys had to do to get moving ready and start up.
It was a lot. I came along right around the time that we acquired this property as well, and didn't really know a lot about handiwork, but I got to learn a lot about it. So the church itself it's about 160 years old. It started off as a German Catholic church, and then somewhere kind of around the late 90s, early 2000s, it converted to just entirely Spanish-speaking Catholic.
Okay.
The area itself kind of started to get gentrified, so unfortunately they lost their congregation, so the church was actually vacant for almost 10 years.
Wow.
So when we came in, there was a lot. The altar itself was in shambles. There was evidence that people had been in and out of here, and just kind of fallen by the wayside. So we definitely did have to do a lot of work and put in, just kind of maintain, bring it back to where it was.
Some general level work besides all the changing of the what you need for the brewing.
Things like I got to learn how to install drywall and all these random things.
I know how to tear it out.
Yeah,
that's
the fun part.
I'm super.
That's
good
the
at
fun part. It's the putting it up. It's not so fun. But yeah, we actually, we definitely wanted to repurpose as much as we could. Our brewer is definitely a jack of all trades. So a lot of these tables are actually made out of the altar wood. The foot boxes that you guys are actually, they're actually altar wood. We're sitting in the pews.
Yeah.
If you can kind of see by over there, the kneelers we repurposed for the kind of the bar seating.
Oh man.
And we really, I think all of us have been, and from day one, I've just been flabbergasted with how aesthetically amazing this whole building is. So we wanted to kind of maintain that. And also just from a historical perspective, I mean, this church has seen so much.
I would have never thought that it was vacant for 10 years. I mean, it really feels like, you know, like the church was out and then you guys kind of moved in and did
absolutely.
Thing. So like the artwork and stuff on the ceilings is like a lot of that original?
It is, yeah. So we had someone come in and touch up a little bit, but predominantly most of the stuff was intact, especially once you get higher up.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to ruin that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the stained glass and then all the actual depictions in each station of the cross, those were taken out by the church before we ever got the property. The church itself was desanctified, and that, I believe, is part of the process. So they took the stained glass, they took it all,
special stuff.
Yeah, took the special stuff out.
The Pope was like, get it out. He's like, get it out of there.
Yeah, I think it's in like a storage facility.
Right.
So tell us a little about beer number 2.
Beer number 2.
The Esmeralda.
I've got the Wispy.
Yes, so Wispy and Esmeralda. So Wispy is also one of our flagship beers. It's basically, I normally just kind of say it's kind of like Slow Motion's younger brother. It's just like a nice, like semi-hazy pale ale.
Honestly, I feel Wispy. When you know, Wispy was the feeling that I got when
That's an Esmeralda. It almost tastes like a shandy, but it's kind of got that fruity taste.
Sour,
it's really
right?
nice, yeah. So it's the Esmeralda is a Berliner Weiss. So we kind of went the true traditional route.
So it's a little hoppier.
Yeah. So the Esmeralda is nice. It's got a little bit of tartness. I really like it because it has that wheat backbone at its core that kind of like hits you after the tart. So it's not just like tart and it just dies off. Like you still have
you don't have
flavor
that sour
behind it.
feel in your mouth.
Yeah, and it kind of it helps the acidity of it. You know, like the kind of wheat backbone comes up to kind of just you're not running for your tums as soon as you can have one.
Right, exactly. I'm not a huge sour beer guy, so naturally, one of my buddies, anytime we go to a bar, he'll get me a sour beer. Because I'll drink it. You know, I'm not one to turn beer away, but no, that one's pretty good. I do feel what you're saying, where it's not like constantly sour.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it kind of like lends itself. Like you get that tartness up front. It's nice, but then just before it kind of overstays its welcome, that wheat backbone kind of kicks in, and you kind of get like a nice flavor to kind of balance everything out. The Wispy we make year round.
Okay.
So that's definitely our stuff. I like it a lot. That's actually exactly what I'm drinking.
Okay.
I just love it. It tastes great. There's nothing super crazy about it. So it's just a steadfast you can. Like I said, we get a lot of people from the neighborhood that are in here, so it's just a good beer that you can come in, you always know it's here, you can always go to
always snag it. So how many beers do you guys have in total? Obviously, we have 8 different ones here.
So right now we have about 9.
Okay.
We did have about
our
top was about 14. But it also includes we have a guest cider. Shout out to Down East Cider Company. They actually make some ridiculously good ciders.
Okay.
And then we also have another cider by Chesapeake, and then we have some sodas. But all of this is straight us. Made right up there.
So how is the brewery scene here in Baltimore? Is there?
It's great. It's really nice.
Have they embraced you guys coming in?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think at the very beginning there was a tiny bit of touch and go, just with some people that just didn't. We're a brewery at a church, so we took the standpoint of we didn't want to make fun of religion. We didn't want to kind of lean into it. We wanted to take it more from a historical standpoint and a community standpoint.
Absolutely.
Whereas this church is amazing. It's beautiful, and it did so much for this neighborhood when it was open. We just kind of wanted to carry on that tradition. And in our case, it's just carry it on with good friends, beer. Good food
kind of more, and I think we had talked about, are they gonna, maybe have some beers in the people's hands? So it sounds like you guys are gonna try to steer clear of that.
We kind of want, we definitely want to steer clear from that, just because, one, we don't want to make any waves, and two, almost unanimously, we were all just kind of constantly in love with this building from a historical
where it already was.
I was raised Unitarian Universalist. I was not Catholic, but I couldn't help but just be in awe of just the craftsmanship, the artwork, everything about it.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of what we wanted to kind of stick to. If we were going to lean into anything, it'd be that.
Don't want to make waves, you just want to make beer.
Exactly.
It sounds like is what.
We just want to make good beer and just be like a nice. Especially where we are specifically. There's not a whole lot of breweries in this direct vicinity.
Right.
You get Fells Point, which is a nice, some amazing bars, and that's kind of, a great scene there, but like not really a brewery scene. So we wanted to kind of blend being a really nice craft brewery with also kind of being a meeting place for people in this community. I mean, you have Hopkins right there, so we get a fair amount of people that either go to Hopkins or work at Hopkins.
Is this what neighborhood is this officially?
So officially, this is. It's either it can be called Upper Fells Point.
Okay.
Technically, I believe it is, and now it's escaping me because it is such a small, but it's kind of like Butcher's Hill community as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of like the intersection of a lot of things. You have
Kind
Patterson Park
of,
over
yeah,
there.
a meeting ground
Exactly.
for all the neighborhoods in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got for number? Oh, I'm sorry, I grabbed number 4. Let's grab number 3.
Yeah.
We're not really good with numbers. I did tell you we're from Tennessee, bro. I did tell you we're from Tennessee, so the reading and the numbers.
Silly
Is equipped sunglasses. Stephanie, let me get them sunglasses over there. I'm being told to. There we go.
Glad you got that one, because my sunglasses are not prescription.
There you go.
Okay,
now
so
you're ready.
equipped sunglasses. Tell me a little bit about this.
So yeah, this is just our straightforward Goza.
Okay.
It's really nice. We put a little bit of white peach in there to kind of give it a nice little fruity texture along with that kind of salty Goza aspect to it. But once again, just like a nice light. We brought it out for the summer. Just kind of like
I can
take it to a
feel
barbecue.
more of a summer. Yeah.
That's the Silly Walks.
What is this one?
The Silly
The
Walks?
Silly Walks.
Yeah, the Silly Walks is also really good. That one's we
yeah.
just rebrewed that bad
I
boy.
like the Silly Walks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's just like a pretty cool, nice like American wheat ale.
Yeah.
We brewed it with about 20 pounds of orange peel.
Uh-oh.
So you kind of get that more.
Yeah, you
zest
can
on
feel
it,
that.
which is really nice.
That one's really good, man. I really like that one a whole lot. I'm super jealous of this guy. He gets it.
So obviously, this area is now 2-3 years removed from winning the Stanley Cup. Did you guys notice that partying come over in Baltimore from the DC area when the Caps won? Was that big here?
We've definitely, I'm not a huge hockey person, but there's definitely, I was raised right outside of DC, it was weird to me, like moving away, farther north out of I was raised in the Silver Spring area, right outside.
Okay, I'm originally from Bethesda.
Okay, yeah. So, coming more north towards that, I was expecting to see less, not as many Caps fans, but then there's a lot of them.
You win a cup, and people are let's jump on. I'll be a fan of a Stanley Cup.
And then it is really nice. I mean, one of the things that I think, it might be true in other cities, but I really associate with Baltimore as well, just being here the longest, that you can basically almost follow any team, and there's a place here. I know, technically, you could argue that we're a Bills brewery, and that we're also a Sabres brewery by default. Our general manager is a huge Bills fan, huge Sabres
I was like,
fan
do you
from
guys just
Buffalo.
have a shit ton of Bills fans in here? No, that makes more sense. So, are you a sports guy at all? What's your
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
I'll follow a little bit of it, but it's definitely more of my dad's.
Okay.
His thing. I would always watch sports with him growing up. But
Was he here so we can get him?
he's somewhere. Who knows?
So beer number 4, I got the Wit. You got the 754.
Yes.
I can de-equip sunglasses.
De-equip.
I've finished up.
So yeah, the 754 is also one of our flagship beers. It's named actually, when you guys come in or on your way out, if you notice, the church clock tower is actually stuck at 754. So it's right twice a day. We've had numerous people tell me, contact us, we can fix it for you. We wanted it to stay the same. It's kind of,
that is super
a cool thing.
People have phones in their pockets. They don't
Exactly.
need, honestly.
Yeah.
It's,
Some kid broke it trying to travel in time.
right.
Marty McFly's up there somewhere.
Yeah, right. That's
with
super
Doc
cool.
Brown. But yeah, it's just a nice, easy going, it was kind of a West Coast IPA,
good.
but it's not coin.
It's not super hoppy.
Yeah,
You might
it's not like
that
chewing
one.
on a pine cone.
And he's got the wit.
And then the wit is just, it's also just our Belgian wit, really nice, coriander.
Interesting.
You also get a little orange peel.
That's a super interesting
Yeah,
beer.
it's really nice. I like it a lot. In my opinion, I would also argue that the wit, if you guys are getting crabs all year, the wit goes really well with some of those crabs.
We've had a lot of crab. Well, we've been here for 3 days, so.
Oh yeah, we had a
I'm basically almost am a crab now, Chris.
There you go.
So this bad boy right here, which it looks like it's gonna be delicious.
Which,
what is this?
it's been a really great interview, but I'm super pissed at you for giving him 5 beers and me 4. Like, we're gonna...
Oh, glad we give you one of those.
Well, I'll come see you in a second after this. We're locked in now. It's mostly I like to complain is the thing.
So do I, so it's okay. Yeah.
So what do we got here?
Complaining friends. So that is our 9.9 problems, aptly named for being 9.9%. It's just our Imperial Stout.
That is smooth.
And see, he's the stout guy and I'm not, but 9.9% will make a believer out of me.
It'll do you right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
good.
nice. I'm definitely a fan of. I like the lower alcohol beers, but I'll go for like a nice hefty stout every now and then. So I really like, not necessarily the ones that are like 14% that taste like they're 7%, but kind of at that middle ground, which is kind of also what we were going for. It's definitely our highest ABV beer to date. But we also wanted to make it palatable and just easy to drink.
Well, I'll tell you who will hate that beer. It's going to be her, because I'm going to go get one after we're done with this video, and
Yeah, the one thing I noticed a lot about the barrel age and Imperial Stouts is that a lot of places shoot for that high alcohol percentage, and it's just not great taste.
It's got to be a good beer.
Yeah.
Like, high alcohol is always great. But
yeah.
It needs to be a good drinkable.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
I think I was with my wife and we were at some Irish bar in New Orleans, and they were like, "Oh, it's like 21% alcohol." I'm like,
But
that's
is
almost
it
liquor.
good? But is
Yeah,
it
it was.
good?
I couldn't drink it. It was
Exactly,
very few
yeah.
times I couldn't finish my beer because it tasted like garbage. And this is a great beer at 9%. You're sitting in that sweet spot. You're not. Yeah. So this is a really good beer.
Yeah, man. All of them have been fantastic.
Yeah, I am actually. I really, really like our wino, especially because we do, since we're still kind of out the gate. We wanted to go nothing, no huge heavy hitters, so you can experience everything while you're here, and you don't have to be stumbling home.
Yeah, once you get people at the door and they like the beers you have, that's the time to start experimenting.
Exactly.
Right? Instead of we're just gonna go right out of the gate.
Oh yeah,
We got
and
a
the gears are
14%.
turning. Yeah, the gears are turning. We definitely want to do some really cool stuff. We kind of have like a lab that we kind of set up so that we can kind of experiment with a bunch of different things and kind of go that route when we're ready to do that. And I'm really excited to do that. But really, we just wanted to highlight some styles of beer that we all personally really like that kind of don't get highlighted as much or kind of fall by the wayside in terms of a lot of craft breweries. Especially when you get into a lot of the lagers and things like that. I like that they are making a comeback now. I'm a big fan of that. When every brewery can make a smoked lager, I'll be happy. That's my personal, and that's what I love that style of beer.
But you weren't coming out of the gate with that,
Yeah, we didn't want to come out of the gate with anything that was really,
It's a niche beer.
Yeah. We didn't want anyone to really, try anything and be like, wow, that is just nowhere near anything that I would ever want.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so Chris, it's been great doing this. Thanks for having us.
Fantastic.
Where can everyone find this place on social media and across the internet?
Oh yeah, we're on Instagram. Well, technically we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Most of us don't really know how to use Twitter, so it updates every now and then. But mainly it's our Instagram and our Facebook.
There's nothing positive that goes on Twitter anyway.
Exactly.
Twitter is just generally a cesspool
Exactly.
of terribleness. So.
But we post there. As much as we can with updates about, we have food trucks normally on the weekends.
Okay.
Big shout out to Fuzzy's Burgers, if that's possible for me to do. They've been
Shout
kind of
out
setting
there.
up shop here.
We run this, and
Thursdays
you can
and
tell
Saturday.
we're just a couple guys that like to drink beer and
There
talk
you
about
go.
hockey. So
Yeah, well, they make some fantastic food, some fantastic burgers.
We have to check them
Their
out.
foods are great. Yeah,
Fuzzy Burgers.
Hopefully we'll get them back in here to start up. They're kind of doing a little bit of a residency here. So hopefully we can get them back in. That'll be great. Just basically our Instagram, our Facebook. We post on there starting tonight. Trivia every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, come to Ministry. We would be terrible at it unless you got just a general sports category. In which case, we would dominate. Okay.
In which case, then next time you guys are in town, we might have to pair up. Like I said, I don't know sports.
So that's
I know a lot of nerd shit too, though. So.
yeah. If you start talking about Lord of the Rings, we can get it in that.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for the second edition of Beerside Chats. See you guys another time.
Peace.